The restaurant was warm, softly lit, the kind of place where first impressions mattered. He sat there checking the door again and again, wondering if he'd been stood up. Then it happened. Two little twin girls ran straight toward him, eyes wide with fear, breathless, shaking, and the words they said next would change everything. "They beat our mom. She's dying." Sometimes kindness doesn't arrive quietly. Sometimes it crashes into your life when you least expect it, asking you to choose courage over comfort and heart over hesitation. Before we begin, take a second to support Kindness Diaries. If stories like this move you, remind you of your humanity, or inspire you to do better, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps us keep telling stories that matter. Ethan had promised himself he'd try again. After a tough breakup and months of long work days, agreeing to a blind date felt like progress. Nothing fancy, just dinner at a cozy downtown restaurant. He arrived early, smoothed his shirt, and ordered water. 7 o'clock came and went, then 7:10, then 7:20. He checked his phone. No messages, no missed calls. He told himself to wait a few more minutes. Blind dates were awkward. Maybe she was running late. That's when he felt a tug on his arm. He looked down and froze. Two little girls, identical in every way, same brown hair, same pale blue dresses, same terrified expression, were clinging to him. One was crying silently. The other pointed toward the glass doors behind them. "Mister," she said, her voice trembling, "they beat our mom. She's on the ground. She's not moving." For a split second, Ethan thought this had to be some kind of mistake. He glanced around the restaurant, expecting an adult to rush over, to say the girls were lost. No one did. The girls clung tighter. "They're still there," the other whispered. "Please help us." Ethan didn't think. He didn't ask questions. He stood up so fast his chair scraped loudly across the floor. He grabbed his jacket, scooped one girl into his arms, and held the other's hand as they rushed outside. The night air was cold and sharp. Across the street, in the shadows near an alley, a woman lay curled on the pavement. Her face was bruised. One arm was bent at an unnatural angle. She wasn't moving. Ethan felt his chest tighten. He set the girls down gently and pulled out his phone, dialing 911 with shaking fingers. He knelt beside the woman, careful not to move her too much, speaking softly even though he wasn't sure she could hear him. "Help is coming," he said. "You're not alone." The twins hovered close, holding each other, their small hands trembling. Ethan took off his jacket and covered the woman to keep her warm. He positioned himself between the girls and the alley, blocking their view. Sirens arrived quickly, slicing through the night. Police officers secured the area. Paramedics rushed in, working fast, speaking in calm, clipped voices. One of the paramedics looked at Ethan. "Are you family?" "No," he said quietly. "They ran into the restaurant. I just helped." The girls looked up at him, eyes searching. "You're staying, right?" one asked. Ethan nodded without hesitation. "I'm right here." At the hospital, the twins sat on either side of him in the waiting room. He bought them juice from a vending machine. He found coloring pages at the nurse's station. He answered their questions honestly but gently. Their mom's name was Maria. She worked 2 jobs. At night, they said, 2 men followed her after work, demanding money she didn't have. Ethan listened, heartbreaking, anger rising, but he stayed calm. He stayed present. Hours later, a doctor finally came out. "She's alive," the doctor said. "Critical, but stable. You did the right thing bringing her in when you did." The girls burst into tears, this time from relief. Ethan felt his own eyes burn. A social worker arrived, asking questions. Arrangements were made for the girls to stay with a temporary guardian until their mother recovered. As dawn crept through the hospital windows, the adrenaline wore off. Ethan suddenly remembered the blind date, the table waiting, the empty chair. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number read, "I'm so sorry. My car broke down and my phone died. I waited for hours thinking you'd left." Ethan stared at the message, then looked at the twins leaning against him, finally asleep. He typed back, "I'm sorry too. Something happened. I hope you're okay." He never explained more. Some moments don't need justification. Over the next few weeks, Ethan checked on the twins and their mother through the social worker. When Maria woke up and learned what he'd done, she cried not from pain but from gratitude. "You saved my girls," she told him, her voice weak but steady. "You saved me." Ethan shook his head. "I just didn't walk away." As Maria healed, Ethan helped where he could. Groceries, rides to appointments, homework help. Small things that added up. One afternoon, as the twins played in the park, Maria looked at him and said, "You know, they think you were sent to us." Ethan smiled softly. "I think they were sent to me. Life didn't magically become perfect. There were court dates, hard conversations, long recoveries, but something real had formed, built not on romance or chance, but on kindness in its purest form. Months later, Ethan did go on another date, but he was different now. More present, more open, more aware that the most important moments in life don't come with reservations or plans. They come when someone runs toward you in fear and you choose to stay. Kindness isn't always convenient. It doesn't always fit neatly into your schedule. Sometimes it interrupts your dinner. Sometimes it reroutes your life. But when you answer it, when you show up for someone who desperately needs you, the impact can ripple further than you'll ever know. That night, Ethan didn't find love at a table for two. He found purpose. He found family. And he found proof that one act of kindness can be the difference between despair and hope. So if you ever wonder whether your compassion matters, remember this story. Remember that choosing kindness even once can save a life and change your own forever. And that's what Kindness Diaries is all about.